Hello everyone, I am Erika of BEADINGSCHOOL.com and you are watching Coffee Time with Erika. Today we are celebrating Beading School Academy's 4th birthday. But before we would start, then let me know please if you can hear me, if you can see me well. I see Rita from Florida. And I see Kimberly, and she's asking about my trip to the conference in Oxford. And indeed, it was an amazing experience. I have learned a lot. And I see Erika, I see Ellen and Lita saying hello and happy anniversary. Indeed, happy anniversary for all of us here together. Rachel is here, Angelina is here, Susan, other Rachel, and she says, hello to all the beautiful people here today. It's always so great to be in your company. It's damp and rainy here. Same here, dear Rachel. And you bring all the sunshine that makes us all flourish. And Cindy, by the way, Rachel always have so beautiful words. Thank you so much, Rachel. Antoinette, and thank you, Lita. Then I know that you can hear me and see me well. Maria is here, Anita, Katja, Faye, Barbara, Susan, and also Terry, Molly. So, lovely ladies, today it's Beading School Academy's 4th anniversary. We have started to go to school again back in September 2021. But do you remember the first day when you actually have started school? Do you remember the first friend you have made? Or the first time that your teacher gave you a compliment? Or years that we spend in school forge pretty much the backbone of who we are, how we approach life, and sometimes even the company with whom we spend the majority of our years later. Some of us even get to know significant others. We make friends for life. We end up working together with them, like Andrea and Timmy and Christy and me now in the Beading School team. And some of us remember words or the gentle eyes of a beloved teacher who encouraged us to grow and continue growing forever. Of course, we might also recall challenges that first seemed to be above our strength. And indeed, let's admit that sometimes we failed a test or an exam. Maybe we have even felt that we let someone down from time to time. But the simple fact that we are here together today proves that we have learned the biggest lesson that is out there to learn. And it's a lesson about a lot more than about equations or conjugation. It is, in my opinion, the lesson to have the courage to stay curious and creative despite temporary setbacks. The lesson to learn to be compassionate, to feel the compassion that we need so we can invite new friends to our lives, from the Beading School Club, for example. Even if all of us have been burned before, but we stay open-minded to be vulnerable and to witness our fellow friends' vulnerabilities. Another lesson that we have learned and that stayed with us is the much needed inner strength and confidence to remain positive in a world where sometimes voices hope to plant fear in us and hope to overshadow those who are striving for connection. But here in the Beading School community, even if we have had different school systems in all the different countries we come from, and we might have different cultural backgrounds, different methods in our schools that were used by our educators. Despite all those differences, we all learned the values of the before mentioned compassion, creativity, and much needed positivity that we have brought here together. And thanks to those values, we formed together the Beading School community. When we become a member of the academy and the club, we get the key, the symbolic one that I showed in the beginning, literally in the form of this vintage looking charm, but also the key to something a lot more. During the past week, we could read amazing testimonials from you about what the academy means to you. And we love witnessing your journey. And one of my favorite things happening in the Beading School community and on the Beading School Club is the series of face-to-face interviews where we get to learn even more about each other. But back to my question about that key that you received when you became a Beading School Academy student. I'm curious, what did that symbolic key unlock for you? So first, please tell me, what did you learn about colors thanks to becoming one of the students and receiving that key? We have had many different colors that we have explored during the past 4 years. And I am very curious to learn which theme of the academy brought you the most challenging color combination, but also what was the most comfortable combination you played with. So we played with the blues and the gentle golds of the Starry Night. We played with turquoise and pink through the Maharaja's jewel, vibrant jewel colors and elegant tones while exploring Art Deco. We have learned to work with pinks and purples while immersing ourselves in the tulip mania. We've had the gentle waves of Thetis's treasure through white, silver, and turquoise. We had energetic colors of the hippie movement while wearing flowers in our hairs, reds and golds through Lucia's light, mint and turquoise and peach through the Dolce Vita. The Jardin Majorelle brought us blue and yellow, purple through the Dream of Sibylla, gold and blue through the Sirens of the Northern Sea, peach, brown, shades of blue and purples through the Dangerous Liaisons, and many more over these past months. Ginny says, it appears the color of the key seems to show up in almost every theme. And I might be guilty of it because, in my opinion, the turquoise is the best color and it's a lot more universal than we might think. And I'm still searching for a color that would not go well with turquoise. So indeed, it pops up a lot. But for example, if I look at this picture, Then there was no turquoise in the Bavarian Princess, and there was no turquoise in Aurora Borealis and the Bird of Paradise. Rachel says, I learned that no color was off limits. I thought I would never bead yellows and stark whites, and yet I love everything we did that contains these. So all colors are beautiful. So Rachel has learned that all colors are beautiful. Angelina says, love every theme color combination. I especially loved the vibrant combination of the Spice Bazaar theme. That was indeed also a beautiful, energetic one with the ruby, the turquoise, and the purple and the fuchsia. Terry says, I learned that there are amazing colors I thought I didn't like, but learned to love. I thought the cobalt blue in Jardin theme would be hard, but I love it now. And Loretta says, the key unlocked me to challenge myself with the different beads as well as colors. I always used to go first black, silver, and purple. Using other colors was a challenge, but not so much now. And I'm so happy that your beady horizon have expanded, Loretta. And I have to share with you that turning towards black is also exactly what I used to do at the beginning of my beading journey. The only color combination I was able to cook up included black and one another color. So if I look back at those jewels, I always beaded black green, black blue, black red, black purple, and it took me quite a lot of time until I started to include another third color, maybe a fourth color, and slowly, somewhere years later, I have noticed that black is not there anymore. Gail says, I loved the Bavarian Princess, my first academy box. I think the first ones always become special. And Cindy says, the key made me think of friendship and family of beaders. Faye says, I have loved all the combinations. They just prove that all colors have their time to shine. The hardest one for me was the flowers in the air. And indeed, I'm also curious, ladies, that which one was the hardest one and the furthest outside of your comfort zone. And you can also guess which was mine, because I also ventured out of my comfort zone thanks to you. Susan says, turquoise is an amazing color. And Ginny says, I love colors and trying to choose them. I have learned there's a way to make most colors work with one another, like all colors in nature. And I think you are very right, Ginny, that whatever two colors you mention, I'm sure that we could cook up a combination, adding this, adding that would make it work. Malia says, the pinks were hardest for me, funny enough. And that is a surprising answer indeed, dear Malia, because usually I often see you ladies asking for pink. So indeed, but we all have our own personal preferences. So while for one of us pink is easy, for another of us it is challenging. And Sherry is joining you. She says, I used to avoid yellow and pink colors. I seem to be adding those to my combinations now. Lita says, it is so hard to pick a single theme, but the most challenging was the strong red of Towards the Lighthouse. You surprised me, dear Lita. And do you see any difference between the red of Lucia's Light and the red of Towards the Lighthouse? Was one easier for you than the other, or was it the same? Sorry, ladies, I will adjust my camera still a little bit. And Susan says, one of my favorites was Sayulita Sunset. Oh, and that was a crazy color combination with the oranges and the pinks and the purple and the red, everything together like a true sunset over the Pacific Ocean. And thank you, dear Antoinette, you're so sweet. Molly says, my favorite and first is the Sirens of the Northern Sea. And Cindy says, I agree, I love all the colors. I have learned to love different colors as well. There are colors that I don't like, but so learning to love different color combinations. Iveta also loves all the colors. For Jenny also the hippie theme, the flowers in the air was the most difficult. And Judith is asking me, Erika, what was the most challenging, the lantern thing? The celestial lantern. I thought indeed that was what was on my mind when I asked you the question, dear Judith, that I was actually really afraid of it. I always encourage you ladies to move out of your comfort zones, and then I felt like I have to set an example. And I have to move as far away of my comfort zone as possible. And I decided I will take that step and I will make it work. So indeed, the blacks and the whites were the most difficult for me, but I decided I will make it work. So then I added the gray, the gold. I chose even black and white, they have different tones, different moods. So I chose moods and vibes that, in my opinion, worked, and I ended up loving it. And Cindy says, the Moonlight box was my first box, and making the earrings, I thought I would never be able to make. I was so surprised at myself. And I hope that you are very proud of yourself, dear Cindy. And Monica says, I loved most themes, maybe not so much the flowers in the air. Most challenging colors, I think, was the Bavarian Princess. I didn't think I would like the greens, but it turned out to be a favorite theme. And this is such a proof, dear Monica, that before we would try something, we can't know for sure what the answer is. And it's true about colors, shapes, and much more in life, I would say. And Marie-Cecile says, I love all colors and I love discovering the effect of combinations I wouldn't have thought of. And Bernadette says, two of my favorites are the Aurora Borealis and the Fairy Forest. What stood out to me were the Celestial Lantern and the Sayulita Sunset. And so interesting, Bernadette, that you mentioned with the Lantern theme and the Sayulita theme two very different boxes. One which was super elegant and in a classic way, and one which was over the top with the shades and the energy. And Bernadette says, since I became a member of the community, I have been much more daring with colors, and I can thank you for that. And I'm so happy that your horizon has expanded, dear Bernadette. My lesson that I have learned since we started to play together during the Beading School Academy themes is very similar to the one that you keep mentioning, dear ladies. So the lesson I have learned is that a lot more is possible than we might have ever thought of. That if we persevere, then we will make it work. Because indeed, I learned lessons about colors, about shapes, but also about life in general. And many of your answers also resonated with that. So I want to say that I am, and the whole Beading School team, we are incredibly proud of you all. And one of our goals for the future is to create more opportunities for you to grow and to show your skills. But besides that, we would also like to shine the spotlight on the community itself and its diverse colors even more. So besides continuing with our usual Beading School Academy themes, we are pledging the year 2026 to getting to know each other even more through our holidays and celebrations originating in different countries and different traditions. This does not affect the academic themes. They will come from different sources of inspirations. But besides them, we will talk continuously about all kinds of traditions and holidays that the community celebrates. And we would like to get to know these traditions even more. And this is, in a way, a fight on Beading School level to fight the voices who want to talk about differences, to plant the seed of fear from the unknown. So in 2026, we will focus on celebrating holidays together and get to know each other even more. We have this wonderful community here in the Beading School Club and in the academy, bringing together breeders from Japan through Indonesia, from South Africa to Finland, and from Peru to Canada and New Zealand and all over the world. So I also have, I will look a little bit into the comments now before I would continue with one of the surprises that I have prepared, that we have prepared for you to celebrate the anniversary. So Erika says, for me, the colors depend on my mood. I love all colors. I use pink a lot because it's my mom's favorite. And Angelina says, one idea that came to me is that of the Aurora Borealis and the Sayulita sunset were to be combined. They might make my favorite color combination. And dear Angelina, since you have both of the boxes, maybe even some leftovers, nothing is keeping you from combining that. And I would be very curious of the result. Sabine says, the most challenging theme is Desert Rose because of the orange and brown tones, but I already bought fitting clothes, so I think I'm getting familiar with these colors. That's so nice to read, dear Sabine. So even if it was scary at first, then this is becoming also a little bit maybe your comfort zone. Cindy says, I agree, the Aurora Borealis and the box we are using now and the Bavarian Princess are my favorite. And Miriam is also here. And Brit Marie says, yellow was a challenge to use and still is, but I have used it more after joining the Beading School Club. And dear Brit Marie, we have something in common because when I started to bead, I thought yellow is a color that I will never, ever touch. And I love it so much by now. I think you ladies have noticed. And I grew very fond of it during the time when we were playing with the Pantone color combination of gray and yellow. And I also see Ariana joining, and Corinne and Lutka. So lovely ladies, I have several surprises for you to celebrate the anniversary of the Beading School Academy and us belonging together to this community. And when we belong somewhere, then it's also nice to show that we are part of something special. So during the past weeks, together with one of my lovely colleagues, and especially she did the majority of the work. I was supporting her while developing the project. But my lovely colleague Sophie, who is responsible for Beading School's Instagram account, among else. So thanks to her, I can show you today these little how to say, stickers that you can use from now on Instagram in general when you show your beading, or when you want to show a jewel that you beaded during No One Has to Bead Alone, when you want to show that you are a member of the academy, or just simply that you are a beader and you want to shout happy beading and I love beading into the world. So if you go on this special little additional graphics on Instagram and you type in beading or beading school, then from now on there will be many of these fun stickers showing up that you can use. Angelina says, very fun stickers. I'm really happy that you like them, dear Angelina. So you will see them on the stories and the posts that we are preparing for you. And you can also use them. And I would love to encourage you to use them and show off that you are a Beading School Academy student, that you are joining No One Has to Bead Alone, or just spread the love of beading by using the Happy Beading and I Love Beading stickers. I would also like to invite you on Saturday for a treasury visit. And my colleague and friend Andrea, and also Melinda and some other team members will be there to share with you a sneak peek specifically into how the Beading School Academy boxes come together. I often see questions from you like, how long does it take to prepare a team? For example, how do we organize everything? Because there are indeed sometimes as many as 3 teams waiting on the shelves. One team is like, maybe the boxes are already packed and they will fly out to you soon. Another team, maybe the boxes are ready but still need to go to our designers. Maybe the components need to be packed. Maybe there is already a 3rd or 4th team that is just being accumulated. So it is a very interesting process. And on Saturday, during the special treasury visit, you will be able to learn a lot more about how the Beading School Academy boxes come together. You will be able to ask questions, and you will also be able to vote for a team that you would like to see happening during one of the Beading School Academy teams. And still on Thursday, of course, we will have a No One Has to Bead Alone lesson. And this time it will be Aquila by Veronka. So I will be waiting for you with Aquila and one more surprise connected to the Beading School Academy boxes. But now, back to that symbolic key that we have talked about so much. And Lita says in the meantime, sorry, I love behind the scenes visits. And and Irena says, I took a Zoom class with Vicky Roberts last weekend and she teased that she has received and loves the next team. And Nancy's asking what time on Saturday. So it is at 5 p.m. Central European time. So let me calculate it for you. Just Just a moment. So it's 5 p.m. Central European Time, and in New York, it's 11 a.m. it seems. So it will be lots of fun, and I hope that many of you will be able to join and vote for one of the upcoming Beading School Academy themes. But now I would like to go back to that symbolic key that has unlocked not only tutorials, not only shapes and colors, but a lot more. It has unlocked new friendships, it has unlocked a community, it has unlocked personal development. Because by being courageous and playing with color combinations and shapes that you haven't played with yet, and by venturing out of your comfort zones, by learning to be proud of you and showing your joy, by complimenting fellow beaders, that's a lot more than the beautiful jewels that we are creating. It will not be on YouTube, by the way, it will be on Zoom, and the link will be posted in the Beading School Academy virtual classroom and also in the Beading School Club. So the treasury visit, it is not available for everyone, only our current Beading School Academy students and everyone in the Beading School Club. So the key, with the Beading School Academy key, you unlocked the door to expanding your beaded learning and skyrocketing your beading skills. And you unlocked a door to something a lot more. And we wanted to commemorate that key in a special way this time. Besides the colors that we bring with us, besides our personal choices, which are all unique and beautiful, there is also something that is common in each and every one of us, and it is the love for creativity. And in the Beading School colors, while yellow represents a positive approach, pink represents love and compassion, turquoise stands for creativity. So we have created a Beading School art cabochon showcasing that symbolic key that opened the door to skyrocketing your beading skills, but also opened the door to create this beautiful community. We are bringing you Beading School art cabochons with the key, and I was 100% sure there is a funny story behind it and why you see 3 different shades of turquoise, because I knew that I want to have it in turquoise because it stands for creativity, because as many of you have mentioned, it is a color that goes with everything, and it is a color that many of us love. But then when I got the samples from the ladies on this picture, and simply I could not make a decision that which turquoise tone is the most beautiful. So in the end, we decided to create all 3 variations, all 3 different shades, because one day you might be in the mood for a vintage looking turquoise shade. One day you might want a light aquamarine-ish turquoise to remind you of clear water, and another day you might go for more like a jadish turquoise color and elegance. So, lovely ladies, let me introduce you the new anniversary beading school art cabochons. And we have them available, all three of them, for a very special price now in the beading school bead shop. Instead of 81 euros, you can have all three of them for 55. But that is not why we love beading school art cabochons. We love them because they are they bring together engineering and art, because they were created for beaders by beaders, because whatever jewel you create with them, maybe a simple peyote bezel, or maybe you will keep adding and adding new beads and shapes and colors all around to make them even more elaborate, they will be wonderful to work with. You could learn a lot about these handmade cabochons. We make them in the beading school atelier under the guidance of master ceramic artist. And Judith says the bundle is out of stock, but I'm pretty sure that I can put it into my shopping basket because I am looking at it. So please, dear Judith, click on the link that I have posted, and I do have one in my shopping basket. It might show up as it is out of stock in the bead shop because there might be a glitch again, which I will let our IT team know. They are not sold out. It is available. And I do see them available. So they are, by the way, 36 millimeter wide. They are on light clay, and the vintage looking color is called copper green. The aquamarine blue is called matte light turquoise, and the jadish color is called Pacific blue. Dear Molly, please do refresh, and then it will be all right. It is all right. Katja says, I love them. And I'm so happy, you ladies, loving them. So this cabochon, it is a symbol of us belonging to the Beading School Academy, to the Beading School community. And when you will receive them, then they can evoke that sense of belonging and friendship for you while you unpack, while you treasure them. And especially if you create a jewel, then let it remind you of the beautiful community that you are part of and that you have created alongside other beaders from all over the world. So lovely ladies, this was the second gift, the third gift that we have prepared for you for today. We have the stickers that you can use on Instagram to show that you belong to the community. We have an opportunity for you to witness how the Beading School Treasury prepares the academy team. Teams ask them questions, and also to vote for an upcoming theme. And also the Beading School art cabochons. Miriam already has an idea how to use it. Do you care to share it, dear Miriam? I would be so curious. Lita says they are exquisite. Kata says amazing pieces. And Ginny says, it amazes me how you and the team keep coming up with these ideas. Dear Ginny, I keep saying that together we are capable of a lot more than everyone on her or his own. And we can have these ideas for you because we are together. Not only the team and friends designers and our partners, but you are part of it. You keep inspiring us and motivate us. So I am ever grateful to the community for bringing us ideas and motivation all the time. Angelina says it's a really gorgeous cabochon. And I couldn't agree more. I would have loved to show it to you, by the way, the final version, but unfortunately FedEx is keeping it for now, and I will hopefully get it tomorrow. So I really hope that tomorrow I can show mine from the final version. And Miriam says, I still have the metal key from my first Academy box embroidery project together with the metal key. That will be a beautiful piece, dear Miriam. Corinne says, one green is mine, my precious. And Judith says, I bought the bundle and I will fill all three eventually because I want to remember the possibilities in life. And Bernadette says, these cabochons are beautiful. And Gail says, I just ordered the set, can't wait. So these cabochons in these colors, they will be available now during these weeks. And if we will have leftovers, which I don't really suspect, and they will remain, but this is like a special production now only for the Beading School Academy Week to commemorate the 4th anniversary. So lovely ladies, and Ginny likes Miriam's idea. Lovely ladies, I would like to thank you for not only for spending this last hour with me, but I would like to thank you for sharing your creativity and sharing your positive vibe during these past 4 years that we have spent together as Beading School Academy members. And I would love to cheer and invite you for the upcoming 4 and who knows how many years. And you have proved so many times that whatever challenges come our way, we will overcome them together. And the key, let it symbolize all the creativity, compassion, and all the positive vibes that you experience in the community. See you ladies on Thursday, for no one has to be alone. And the Treasury ladies and gentlemen are looking forward to showing you around on Saturday. Thank you so much and wishing you a wonderful rest of the day.